listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
How are you doing, everybody? And we're going to start it again today. And mainly my job come here is to share with everybody about meditation. What is meditation? Meditation is actually to free yourself from bondages, free yourself from thoughts, free yourself from pandemic, free yourself from thoughts, free yourself from the cages, self-limitations, and the fear imposing yourself, any boundaries you limit yourself. It's a freedom, and that's what it is. It's a freedom in mind, freedom in body, and we talk more about it. And so what I want to see is every day we do a little bit of breathing. Okay, let's start with a little bit breathing. Okay, and all right, let's start. When we start, remember, and a few points I want to repeat again. One is the breathing, and we listen to ourselves, and then we also feel each breath. When the breath comes into the nose, the tips of the nose, and go through your nostrils, go to your lungs, and beyond your lungs, go to the diaphragm, penetrate, permeate beyond that diaphragm into your, we call dantian, the lower abdomen, and the penetrate, become energy, penetrate into the body. So, kind of feel that. But in the meantime, so when you do it, and you not force yourself to come down, but let yourself be mindful or be conscious, and to observe inside, and observe your nervous system, observe your cells, observe each part of the body, so that when you observe it, when you face it, when you face your fear, when you face your tension, when you face your stress, and slowly things begin to disintegrate, and all the tightness will begin to loosen up, and so everything goes natural and 自然. In Chinese, 自然 means 自, let the self. 然 means loosen up, and let nature take over. That's what 自然 is about. So self taken care of, and then nature taken care of, and self-organization, and on its own. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, let's start. begin to open. Some of you may observe your spinal cord is loosened up, begin to open up. Some of you may feel that hips, that tension Okay, good. All right, how's everybody? How are you doing, Dave, today?
Very well, thank you. It's a good day.
It's a good day. Every day is a good day. So if we look into every day and look into that freedom side, look into ourselves free from all that fear, all that panic, all that anxiety, all that stress, all that thoughts. The thoughts make up all kinds of things. Make up fear, make up the security or insecurity, make up the turmoil, make up all kinds of crazy things. So sometimes when we free from that thoughts, and we can free from a lot of fears, when we free from the fears, and life can be more enjoyable. And freedom is the main thing of that meditation. We say freedom, a lot of people say freedom from politics, freedom from all this social media. Those are outside freedom. Freedom from different community cultures or religions. But the internal freedom is the main freedom we talk about. It is freedom from your own thoughts. Because a lot of times you make all these panicky things. You yourself make up all these disastrous situations. You yourself make up all these quarrels, these divisions, these conflicts. When we observe ourselves, we need to see who is the observer, who is the observed, who is observing. And if all that be clear, and that self, that observed, that observing, that observer, that consciousness, that outer consciousness, that inner consciousness, that awareness, that mindfulness, all that, what is that? And be clear. And connect that together is one thing. When you do not have that distance, when you do not have that division, when you do not have that thoughts make up all kinds of things, you will see things differently. That's all about meditation. Meditation is free from all that. Free from all that thoughts, free from that ideas, free from that concepts, free from all that. Each of us make ourselves. And that is the probably most important thing, and we do into the meditation. The meditation is self-observation. To observe yourself without judgments, without ideas, without all these made-up thoughts, made-up ideas, made-up divisions, made-up crazy things. Not block ideas, not block signals, not block anything. Rather, free yourself from all that. Anything comes in, you don't have to dwell on it. Anything comes in, you don't have to chase in it. And anything comes in, you don't have put yourself into that crazy signals buried by that sound pollution, idea pollution, that signal pollution, that smog around you, that spams on your cell phone, that spams on your mind, that spams on in your cells, that spams in the air, spams inside of your mind. So free yourself. That's the main thing. Freedom, in this country we talk about the freedom, but not many people are free. A lot of people in your own dreams, a lot of people in your nightmare, a lot of people in your thoughts, a lot of people in your anxiety, a lot of people in your thoughts, a lot of people in your stress. And you limit yourself, you cage yourself, you put yourself into that prison. People say, well, my car this, my car that, my economy this, my economy that. People basically, in the prison, they try to get an advantage of that prison, self-imprisonment. Oh, I get a little bit advantage of this. I get a little bit food of this. I get a little bit food of that. I get a little bit more space within my prison. But you are still in that prison of yourself. And you didn't get out of the prison. You only want to get advantage in that inside the prison. You want to quarrel in the prison. You want to get a little bit space in the prison. But there's no prison. And when the only thing you can do, free yourself. There's no ceiling over there. There's no ceiling. Break the ceiling, get out of yourself. And then that is the freedom. You can free yourself. But only a paper thing. Only when you look up. Only when you look within. And you can get out. But most of us don't see we can get out. We're stuck into that economical quarrels. We're stuck into that material quarrels. We're stuck with the daily cars. We're stuck with the daily finance. We're stuck with that little money. We're stuck with that all that crazy things. In ancient times, do we have all that economy? We don't. When I was young, I lived in the street. I never thought of these economy things. And I was free. I live in the ditches, so what? I was healthy. I live in the field, so what? I was healthy. So sometimes you need to balance that. A lot of people, I told you guys, I know a lot of billionaires, and a lot of actresses from Arnold to Jet Li, to a lot of people, and Stephen Fang, all these people, and a lot of billionaires in China, and they are their own, probably according to the company, Alibaba owns probably at least a few countries' economy. Do they feel happy? Do they feel, free? Do they feel healthy? Do they feel happy? Ask themselves. Ask each yourself. So we need to ask ourselves, not depend on any authority, not depend on others. Free yourself. That's more important than anything. When you free yourself, you free from that disasters, free from that anxiety, free from that thoughts, free from all that pain, all that suffering. You come up with a beautiful enjoyment of your life. You're much healthier. Your mind health, your body health, your mental health, your psychic health, everything comes into being. That freedom is everything. When you're free from disease, when you're free from all that thoughts made that disease, when you're free from the illusions made up of disease, made up all that anxiety, made up all that stress, made up all that panic, made up all that illusions, your life is totally different. When you dive into that panic, when you dive into that stress, when you dive into that conformity of that media, oh yeah, you're going to feel pain every day. Much more painful than anything. When you sit down for a few minutes, when you lie down a few minutes, when you just walk on the street, just observe, beware everything, but without getting into all this chaos, you see life different. Life is different. That's what I do every day. And I'm free from all that stress, from all that self-made anxiety. Dave, what do you think?
We all need it. We all need to free ourselves from stress. And I think the show is something that everyone should listen to and try, and that's why we're doing it. Because you have a message to give to everyone. not just one person, but everyone.
It's each of us, and I'm not say, okay, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, everybody follow me. What I say is each person is a self-discovery, and discover yourself, and connect with the universe, connect with God, connect with that, the consciousness, the great consciousness, connect with yourself even, that inner consciousness, that heart, Sometimes we look so much outside and see all that chaos. It is self-made chaos. When you play this game, that's the game you're in. There's a chaotic game. But if you play another game, it's totally different game. And according to science, we are simulation. We play the simulation. Our life is a simulation. Our character is a simulation. Our personality is a simulation. That figure, that Dave, that DeRu, is a simulation, and everything's a projection of that simulation. So if we focus on the simulation, we don't see the inside content. And you see, sometimes we go beyond that simulation. We can make it renew that simulation. We can figure out different simulation. We can change the color of the simulation. Instead of dark color, we can change it something brighter, something lighter, something more beautiful. Actually, we can change our life, so to speak. And some people told me, and you're full of energy. You always smile. What's wrong with the smile? When you face light, you see light. When you face the darkness, all you see is darkness. So my Chinese name actually is Xiangyang. I have a lot of names. The name my father, before he passed away, and I think I was born, he was still alive, and probably, and then he gave me a name before I was born, and then he passed away, and my mother left me the second day, but I at least I got my name, Xiangyang. Xiangyang was my original name. My father was my father gave it me, and called Xiangyang means towards the sun. Face the sun, so like a sunflower, face the sun, always face the sun, because my name, and a lot of my passwords is called face the sun. It's different ways of face the sun. It's different languages, different characters. So so when you face the sun, you don't see darkness. That's all it is. So when you're against the sun and you face the darkness, all you see is a shadow. Your shadow is dark. So and a lot of times, and you just simply turn around. You don't see that shadow anymore. All you see is the bright light. That's how it is. That's how simple it is. However, sometimes we're stuck into that darkness. We're stuck into that, sorrowness, that suffering, that pain. We're not willing to get out. We talk about it. It's just a lip service. And sometimes it's not that difficult. It's not that challenging. But we make it so challenging. I remember when I teach Kung Fu, I teach one or two movements. All people make up all kinds of things. They make up like all kinds of complex movements. I say, well, I didn't do that complex. I did it very simple. Just one or two movements, that's it. They try to, they think that in the mind they begin make up. Got to be more complex than this. Next day when they come in, I say, well, that's not what I taught. Something much simpler, but each person want to make something more complex. So, and the mind, the thoughts, it's very, very tricky thing. Thoughts make up all kinds of things. And that's why you cannot depend on your thoughts. You cannot depend your ideas. You cannot depend your concepts. I always say to people, when you ride on top of the waves on the ski, if you ride on top of the waves, you enjoy the wave. But it can be buried by the wave. I would rather enjoy on top of the wave, and then concept by concept, and you from one concept to another concept, from one wave to another one. Otherwise, you stuck into the wave and you buried into the wave, and that idea is done. Your life is done. Let you set yourself be free. That's what I see. So, be that person on top of the wave, instead of that person be buried by wave. Be that idea, jumping into another idea, jumping into another idea, jumping into another idea. You always be creator of ideas instead of buried by one idea. So that is the freedom we talk about. That is the meditation we talk about. That is the life we talk about. So I hope a few things I talk about can instigate your life, can help you to see yourself internally and externally. Thank you.
Want to give your family or loved one the perfect gift? Then go online and check out the TornadoBodyDryer.com. I love mine and the warm heat air massage it gives me after my shower. The Tornado Body Dryer is super. You'll love it, and you'll love having one in your shower.
If your health insurance premium is more than your mortgage, Ellen Deal with Ideal Solutions is here to help. Whether you're a small business owner, individual, family, or baby boomer, email maga45cag@gmail.com and I'll respond with 3 easy questions to help you determine if you can get away from Obamacare. As a 20-year veteran of the insurance industry, I'm here to help with all your insurance needs. Email Ellen Deal at maga45cag@gmail.com.
Whether cruising the strip in a 57 Chevy or taking the family on a vacation in a 71 Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser, you need to tune in to Classic Cars with Steve Ronaldo and Jim Weber every Saturday from 8 to 9 a.m. on americaswebradio.com.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the americasbroadcastnetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
And welcome back to America's Web Radio, and we hope that you're enjoying our meditation with our Kung Fu Master DeRu, and it's a pleasure having him in here. And it's you're like a breath of air after a nice rain, and just very soft and very fulfilling and informative and peaceful. And it's I think we all know that smell and the delight of refreshing rain in the summertime or spring or fall, whenever. But it is, we hope you're telling your friends too about, I'm not sure, but I think we're the only radio station in the country that has a meditation session, and we have the best, and we appreciate it. And if you're interested in more on America's Web Radio, interested in becoming a patron, let us know. You can go to our homepage, and we got some new developments on our homepage, as a matter of fact. So start looking for those. And if you're interested in advertising on America's Web Radio, we are going to be running a super special, and you will be able to literally get your message out around the world. We have listeners everywhere, and not all that we'd like, but we have them in many, many different countries. So think about telling the world that you're open again and ready for business. And we're here to help you. So right now, back to DeRu.
Wonderful. Okay. We talk about the freshness, and one of my friends, and his name is Tom Klalinger, and he's a pilot. And I have a lot of pilots students, and he was one of my students who has been such a good friend for the last 20 years. And he's the one who actually set up a lot of my shops, my studios, and helped me to renovate. He's a beautiful person. I remember one time, a few years ago, and he went to one of my seminars in Pensacola. And after the seminar, this is what he said: "Oh my goodness, my mind as fresh as the modern meadow, and God is just pure. And I don't see anything anymore. I don't remember anything. Even I was in the sky, I was still thinking. I was see the blue sky. Sometimes something come to my mind, but these 3 days, and my mind is totally clear of anything. Any crazy things in my mind is gone. It's a beautiful thing. That's what meditation is about. It's about self-observation. It's about clean up all that junks, that spams, that debris, that thing, it's really, really occupying your mind and give you all kinds of troubles, all that attachments, and, all that opinions. People say dirt. What is dirt? What is beauty? And we make up. What is what is ugly? What is the beauty? What is up? What is down? What is stress? What is unstress? It's we make up all kinds of things, but it is us. We can unveil our intelligence and let that go. Let all that smog, all that spams, all that opinions, and out of the mind, and be at the moment. Be at the moment. That is most important, because a lot of us live in the past. Okay, some people even say, 20 years ago, I got this because 20 years ago something happened to me. Or a year ago something happened to me. Or somebody did something to me. Or somebody did some other things to me. I hated something. What are you hated for, It is you are the one suffer. You are the one, hold that to yourself. You are the one hold out all the attachments. You are the one hold the past. You are the one living in the past. You don't live in the present. The present has nothing to do with it. What is meditation? Meditation is to live at the present. At each moment in time and space. At the moment without time and space. That moment is more important. That moment without a past. That moment without future. What is future? Future never comes. Say tomorrow. Tomorrow never show up. Right now, here is the past. Here is tomorrow. Here is the future. Right here, at this moment. That's the only moment you live in. Yesterday, what I say, let yesterday die. Let a moment ago die. Let your past die. If you're not willing to let your past die, you never live. You never live because you live in the past. So learn how to live and how to die. Without learning how to die, you never live. Psychologically, physically, let it die. Yesterday you is not you to today. It's totally different from you. A lot of billions of cells died. You say, well, I hold on to it. I hold them to it. And to that mind, to that thoughts. What's the purpose? So willing to let yourself die. You can see a new self every moment. Create a new self Let yourself, newborn self. And that is the most beautiful thing. Why? Because you always live fresh. You always live in the present. You always live alive. Instead of live with a corpse, it's already gone. Instead of living in the past, it's already gone. Live in the past ideas, live in the past bodies, live in past thoughts. We live in the past concepts. With the past ideas already is no longer there. With the past emotions created by your thoughts, those emotions is no longer there. If you don't hold on to it, if you don't cling to it, if you don't depend on it. Somebody said something, it's already gone. But you still hold on to it. That emotion is created by your thoughts, created by your ideas, created by your beliefs, created by the frame of thinking of yours, and caged you, give you that emotions, give you that thoughts, give you that ideas, give you that cage, give you that limitations, and you're stuck into it. You get all kinds of headaches. You get all kinds of emotions. You get all kinds of anxieties. You get all kinds of panic things. You get all kinds of stress. Oh, my boss did something to me. My employee did something to me. My father did something to me. My mother did something to me. Let them die. Let the ideas die. Let all that thoughts die. Let all that emotion die. When living at the present time, living in the moment, anything, it's gone. Don't indulge in those things. Learn how to negate to all that. Negate to that ideas. Negate to that thoughts. Negate to that past. Do not participate any quarrels of the mind quarrels, the thoughts quarrels. And you see a different yourself, a new self, a new Dave, a new DeRu, a new whatever, a new I, you know? What do you think, Dave? What do you see?
I think we're all ready for that, you know, and the peace that we need right now, going through the lockdowns and the shut-ins, and we're not familiar with it, and it's there's a new life coming for all of us in many, many ways.
Yeah, learn a new life is very important, because instead of scared, instead of all full of fears, instead of full of all these panic, desires and all these panic and anxieties, by free yourself, free each of us, and when we free each of us, we not dwell on this panic. We not dwell on the disease. We are not dwell on this virus. We not dwell on this information, all kinds of information. But we pay attention to how to live the best, how to live that moment, how to live the best of that each second, each fraction of a second. That's more beautiful. Life can be beautiful. And then when we live at that moment, we free ourselves and then we begin to increase our energy, because we are not dissipating energy. We're not spending energy on fear. We're not spending energy on all these chaotic thoughts. We're not spending energy on these emotions. We're not spending energy on this distress. We're not spending energy on this media, all these media disasters. We're not spending energy on all these crazy death or on death, all some other people there. The death is beautiful, can be, because let the dead die, because yesterday already dead. My minute ago is already dead. The DeRu of the last minute is gone. It's gone forever. Let it die. Don't let it live with you. Open a new self. New DeRu is coming. New DeRu is living right now at this moment. So that's a beauty of the living. So learn. That's what I do. Learning every minute. Learn by myself. Learn of the universe, my relationship with the universe, my relationship with the day, my relationship with everything can be beautiful. You know, somebody said something to me yesterday. So what? Let it go. Doesn't matter beautiful or ugly. Doesn't matter. It's gone. It's over. Let's see today. Let's see right now. At this moment. Only this moment matters. Anything else is gone. Sometimes we promise to call 20 years later, or tomorrow is a promise. It's an idea. Only when you take action, when you live in that moment, everything else is secondary. Just like one of my students, and I told him all the time. His name is Patrick Barry, and he was a UFC fighter. And his girlfriend, now his wife, Rose, was also UFC champion. And when he fought on the ring, and he was literally pee on his pants. And he was, what happened? He's scared. He's scared of the guy who's going to beat him up. He's scared of the guy who was a champion. The guy was a world champion. He was scared. He's a beginner. I say, when I want you to go over there to have that conversation with that guy with your movements, I know you can carry that conversation. It's not a problem. That is all it is about that fight is what? It is a conversation. It is interact with each other. It is your fear you need to overcome. That's what it is. When he got over there and he began to move, the fear is gone. And the second round, he knocked that world champion out. And he was so happy. He said, how could I do that? He didn't even know. No, it is that a moment in time. If you put yourself, get rid of all the thoughts, get rid of all these ideas, all these barriers, and live that moment and express yourself freely. And then you are acting on your own. You are acting with the universe. You are free.
This is Daryl Pullis inviting you to listen to America's Homegrown Veggie Show right here every Saturday morning at 10 Eastern Time. Great guests, great tips, and valuable information about growing your own vegetables, fruits, and herbs.
Get your pen and paper ready. If there's a move in your near future, I'm here to tell you that the folks I used and now recommend is Around Town Movers. Timothy and the guys recently moved me, and I am and was totally satisfied with a sometimes not so fun experience moving. Call Timothy at 770-378-4708 and make it a good move and a good experience. Around Town Movers for that local or cross-country move. Timothy, Around Town Movers, in my opinion, are the best. That's Around Town Movers. Call them.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
And we're back on America's Web Radio and with DeRu and our Kung Fu master. And DeRu, I had a question for you. I've been experimenting with the meditation that I do, and I've always, ever since I was a little bitty kid, my father grew roses, and I've always loved red roses. I've tried growing them several times, and Not real successfully, but the other morning, in fact, when I was meditating, and I thought, there's nothing prettier to me than a beautiful red rose that's just beginning to open up. And you take the scent of the red rose and you smell it, and it's so refreshing and so alive and so beautiful, and you look at it and you smell it, and I could, as I was meditating, I had no doubt I was smelling a red rose. Is that, have I gone crazy?
No, that's beautiful. Because our thoughts will make up things. Our thoughts have memories. However, the moment when we really produce something beautiful, and we can produce it at any moment. When we, let me give you an example. One time, I told you probably before, and I owed $1 million. I literally owed $1 million because I did a lot of tournaments. I invited China, the people from China, some of the best martial artists from China to come here to do some fighting with my students, and to do some interactions, and to do demonstrations. We toured the whole country, and I put all the money into it. And before long, I found out I was negative $1 million negative. That was in 1996. I was $1 million negative. I was just totally shocked. And people believed, the director of the swap, and told me if I can pay that $1 million, it's as real as his leg. He put his leg, it's a prostate leg. That's how real it is. Your lifetime. Because I was teaching at the University of South Alabama at that time. But when I told him, if I want to smell the money, I can get the money. Because when you create something, when you really want to do something, you can create. That's how powerful the mind is. That's what I talk about. When you smell that rose, it is your mind to live in that moment. And then I begin to say, if I want to create that $1 million, I can create it. Because everything in the universe is already there. All you do is attract to it. That's how it is. So within the next few years, and every direction, people begin to help me. People be left and right. The sheriff from the New Orleans, from Jefferson Parish, and Hurley, and he helped me. And then, the different cops and different martial arts schools all over the world began to help me, wanted me to teach their school. Suddenly everybody wanted me to teach their school. And teach senior citizens, and teach cops, and teach sheriffs, teach FBI, teach U.S. Marshal, and everybody comes asking me to teach. I was okay. Before long, and then I got $1 million.
I need that to happen. Everybody should need to advertise on America's Web Radio right now.
That's just reality. Before long, and then I said, well, and then I was going to, of course, at the beginning, I think. And when I left his house, and I said to myself, I'm going to come to tell you when I finish it. Of course, when I finish it, I already lost that desire to tell him I already finished the pay that $1 million debts. Because different people have different mindset. And when that person have that mindset, because he framed himself in swap. Have you heard of swap? No. Swap is it's a financial company. Charles Schwab is one of the most famous financial guy, and he's a friend. Schwab. Yeah, Schwab. Yeah, Schwab, and he's a friend with Carnegie. Mm-hmm. Schwab, and that's the director for Schwab Company in New Orleans. And, he has his framework because he believed in his finance. He believed his, that company, how you make money, how you do the money, and that's what he believes. He has his framework, but I don't have that frame of the mind, so I'm free. I can create anything. So that is the reality. You create your own reality. You create your own life. You create your own finance. You create your own mind. You create your own roses. That's what it's about. Is that a freedom? Human being has that freedom. We all have that freedom. Sometimes we lost. Because we cage ourselves in that box. This is what we can do. Okay, I have this disease. I'm fall into this disease. No, you don't have to fail that disease. You can get out of the disease. When you turn around, you don't have that disease anymore. That's what it is. I have all kinds of health problems, but I don't have any at all. So, and I have a friend who, Janet, for example, and she had a cancer, stage 4 cancer, spread all over the body. Today she's free, totally free. And I have another person, Lisa, and from Atlanta. A few years ago, she had cancer. Oh, people, she began to worry about it. She's one of the, persons, one of my students, pretty well off. She has all kinds of properties all over Atlanta, and she, went to Hawaii, bought a space right away, with cash, and she has a financial freedom. But she was worried. She was totally worried, and what am I going to do, and am I going to die in a few days, or am I going to die in a few weeks, a few months, And I told her, get out of there, get out of there. Money is not important. House is not important. All these cores in more, all this financial frame is not important. Free yourself. And then today, and yesterday she wrote me, I thank you forever for my life. I'm still here and free. And it's not a thank me. You don't thank me. You thank the universe. Thank yourself. That's what I see. I don't do anything. I just let you the fact. It's already there. It's already in the universe. But only we sometimes, each of us, shut ourselves into the darkness and put that screen in front of us. Don't see anything beyond the screen. And we're the one cover ourselves. We're the one can lift ourselves. We're the one can open that screen. That's how far it is, just a screen deep. That's how deep it can be. And we're the one can free ourselves. So, and life can be challenging. It is true. But life can be simple. But it is us who make such complex in our lives. We have all kinds of things in our houses. How many houses in the United States, don't have a lot of things? Most houses have more things than I do. I guarantee you. What I have is a table, a desk, a counter, a bed. That's it. That's how simple it is. That's my. Anything else can throw away. That's my life. So people, I'm happy. I don't need all this junk. I can bring $1 million, $10 million, $100 million. Not a problem. I guarantee you. But then, what's the point? When I need the money, when I settle things, this is not a problem at all. Because the money is a tool. When you need the tool, you can get the tool. That's all it is. When you get the tool, that tool, it must be useful. If you need the tool, you really, really need the tool. And then that tool will come. When you want to desire, greed, you need a tool, you don't have the usage end for the tool. You waste the tool. That is a problem. That is a problem. Yeah. And then when I told myself, next 30 years, I get this project called DeRu project. 30 years DeRu project. And then I will accomplish that. It's not I accomplish. It's all together with hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people, hundreds of millions of people to accomplish that. And that is the beauty of humanity. That is the beauty of the inner being. That is the beauty of the freedom to create. That's the beauty of the consciousness. That is the beauty of that mind. Okay, Dave, you talk about your sister, what we can help your sister?
She's just she's had a number of strokes at this point over the past couple of weeks, and is still having trouble breathing. But
we can get on the phone and we can talk. No problem. Yeah. If she wants to talk, and I would love to.
Well, she can.
What?
She can't.
She can't talk.
No.
Okay.
Well, we'll talk about it after the show.
Okay, sure.
And in fact, we have to come to the end.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
DeRu. And I hope everyone has found the peace in it that I have today. It's very good. Very good. And we're delighted to have DeRu with us and bringing us a message every week. So we'll be back after this.
You're listening to America's Web Radio on the AmericasBroadcastNetwork.com. Thank you for listening.
My name is Kyle Hayes.